There's intelligence, there's book smarts, there's common sense, but there's one type of intelligence that will determine how successful you will be as a leader. And if you get it wrong, it's devastating. All right, we've all heard of IQ, your intelligence. Some may have even heard of SQ, which is your social quotient or your social intelligence, your ability to navigate social situations, connect with people, and so forth. But this type of intelligence, while those are both very important, this type of intelligence is even more important to your success as a leader. This will go so far in determining how willing your team is to follow you, how much they trust you, and so many other things. If you can't get this right, you're in a really bad spot and you'll have a really tough time being successful. And that is emotional intelligence, also known as EQ, emotional quotient. And that is the ability to manage your emotions. Right? Notice I'm not saying eliminate your emotions. That's impossible. Plus, emotions are very healthy and good. We need them. But we also need the skill of managing our emotions. And we've all been around people, and I'm sure you've been around leaders like I have, that have no ability to do that. Right? They wear every emotion on their sleeve. If they're mad, the whole world knows about it. If they're stressed, the whole world knows about it. And it's really hard to run a business and run a team when you conduct yourself in that manner. Because great leadership requires the ability to stay calm even in the midst of a storm. Because it is our job as leaders to maintain the culture and the environment and the morale of our people. And I'm not quite sure how we do that if we can't even manage our own emotions. So we have to become really great at emotional intelligence if we're going to be an effective leader. All right, so let's talk about a couple reasons why that is. And I'm going to say a word here. I say in almost every video, and hopefully you'll learn over time just how crucial this is. And that is when you have an inability to manage your emotions, you erode or have an inability to build trust. And we know trust is the crucial, most foundational element of a high-performing team. All right, so let's talk about why that is. First and foremost, just think about the nature of lacking the ability to manage your emotions or wearing your emotions on your sleeve for the whole world to see. You become unpredictable, which is the opposite of trust. Right? If I can't predict how you're going to conduct yourself, then I can't trust you. Am I going to get frustrated you? Am I going to get stressed you? Am I going to get angry you? Am I going to get good mood, bad? I don't know what I'm getting. So then how can I trust you? And then what it causes me to do is, as somebody who works with you or for you, it causes me to be on eggshells because I don't quite know how to navigate you and navigate situations because I don't know how you're going to react. All right, the second thing is I think people who don't manage their emotions well are less compassionate because they're more worried about their emotions and getting their emotions out than they are about the person across from them. And never forget, as a leader, never forget what we're leading. We're leading human beings that have feelings and emotions, and human beings that want to be treated a certain way, human beings that want to be respected, and human beings that are going to make mistakes. And when you come in and hammer people for that, or you come in and you disrespect people or treat them poorly or speak to them poorly, there's no way in the world they can trust you. And there's no way in the world they're going to even want to be around you. And I'm not sure how we lead with that being the case. Another way it erodes trust is you become unapproachable. And it's because you are unpredictable. So when I have a problem or an issue, I'm not going to come to you because I don't know what I'm going to get back. Right? I'm not going to come to you with something that I maybe need help on, something that might move the business forward, which should be very important to a leader. Because I don't know if I'm going to get stress, anger, frustration back. I heard a story the other day of somebody who went to their boss about an issue they were having, and the boss was already stressed, already mad, and threatened to fire the person for bringing them the problem. I mean, I don't know how you lead somebody. That person now is considering leaving the organization because of it. Really hard to build a high-performing, bought-in team when that's your attitude. So we got to build the skill of managing our emotions. Right? I think the inability to do so makes you a lesser communicator. Right? Have you ever been in an argument or a disagreement or been super stressed or angry and you can't quite find your words? Or even worse, you say something you don't mean? That's what happens when we're not in control of our emotions. And by default, that makes us a lesser leader and makes us a poorer communicator. It also makes you a lesser decision maker. And I don't know of many skills more important for a leader to have, and that's discernment and decision-making ability. But when you're caught up in the emotional centers of your brain, what is called the limbic brain, you can't access logic and the decision-making part of your brain, which is the neocortex or prefrontal lobes and things like that. So those two parts of the brain don't communicate well with each other. So when I'm stuck in my emotions, I can't access logic. Hard to be a great decision maker when I can't access logic. Right? And I also think that when you can't manage your emotions, it's really hard to build a proper culture. Right? So what you end up having is a culture of eggshell walking and a culture of people staying out of your way and a culture of low communication. Right? And I don't know how you innovate and drive a business forward when that's the culture that's being created, because the leader can't manage their emotions and they are unpredictable and all the things we discussed. So if you want a calm, innovative, a culture where problem solving occurs at a high level, then it's probably in your best interest to lead the way and keeping that calm, cool environment for people to do so. So let's talk about maybe the first step in overcoming this or getting better at this or navigating this issue. And always remember, leaders go first. I know Simon Sinek says leaders eat last, and they do, because that means that when there's perks or there's the good things, we let our people have those first. But when it comes to doing something hard or challenging or difficult, leaders have to go first. So if you want your people to be better managers of their emotions, you want a culture of emotional intelligence in your organization, it starts with you. And the first step you need to take is develop the self-awareness around it and admit that maybe it's an issue and maybe it's something you need to work on. Now, if you hear me talking about this and you think, man, you present a cool, calm front all the time, then move on to the next video. But if it's something you struggle with, I know I have many times in the past, then it's something we need to lean into and up level if we want to be the leader we want to be. So we have to have self-awareness and know that we're making these mistakes. And in the moments where maybe our emotions are getting the best of us, or we're snapping at people or saying things we don't mean or disassociating out of our emotions, we have to know that we're doing it. Hard to fix a problem when we don't know we're doing it. And for a lot of people, it's a blind spot. And one of the ways we can overcome that is by going to our team and saying, hey, this is an issue I have, and I know this issue has caused problems, but I want to get better. And when I maybe mess that up, or maybe when I show my emotions too much, or I'm not speaking to you guys with respect, or I'm not speaking to you guys in the way you want to be spoken to, or treating you the way that you want to be treated, say something to me, call me out on it. But then when they do, you have to handle that appropriately as well, or they'll stop doing it. Right? And we talk about humility and just how important humility is as a leader, and what an unbelievable way to display humility by going to your team and saying that, calling out the issues that you have, which, by the way, they already know you have. So there's not a lot of risk in it, but it does take humility. And also, if you want to have a culture of growth and development, you're demonstrating that right in their face. Hey, I'm looking to grow and develop in this area. Can you help me? So those are the first steps I would take. Right? Let's develop self-awareness around it, and I'll come back in future videos and give you more steps. But for today, analyze this, think about it, put it through your own filters, determine if you need help with this, and if so, go do the things I've already said. And if you need more help, I'm always here to assist as well. But think about it, process it, and start to up-level it, and let's see what happens.